Well, I would assume, first of all, that those students are committed to the field. Otherwise, they wouldn't be investing all their time and money in such study. The advice varies depending on whether we're talking about their entry-level steps into the profession or their long-term pattern and goals for it. As far as entry level is concerned, I'm not sure that they should care all that much about targeting a particular company, a particular agency, a particular nonprofit. I think they ought to accept what opportunities there are and learn from whatever opportunities there are at that given moment in time, because they can always move to another arena if they wish to do so. Fortunately, they have some time ahead of them so that they can bring the smarts that they achieve if they're working for a local nonprofit. They can bring those into the agency field or into the corporate world. So they shouldn't worry too much about the first rung on that ladder, because they can learn a lot. In fact, I'm a great champion for a first job being in the nonprofit field, because most nonprofits can't afford to have lots of people on their public relations staff. So as a result, the young person coming into that position has an opportunity to do many jobs and many activities and functions that we probably wouldn't have an opportunity to encounter in the corporate world, which is more liberally staffed with public relations people and keep people, in slots for a year, for 1 year, 2 years. So I think that the nonprofit is a great learning experience. But bottom line, I'm saying to the student, I don't think you should be too concerned that the first job you have is going to be the last job you have, because you can learn all along the way. Secondly, I would think that some of the best advice I might give would be to tell them to join professional organizations so that they can make connections and contacts. After all, they provide an opportunity for you to meet and work with senior professionals. And I have a footnote that I won't resist. When I was in the hiring mode some years ago, I would get frequent calls from colleagues who would say, gee, we have a job open at such and such a company for some public relations beginner, and do you know of anybody? You know of any young person who is, smart and has a lot of promise in the field? And I was no magic source of knowing all the wonderful young people who were out there, but I did know some that I had encountered in the local chapter of the Public Relations Society or the Publicity Club or some professional group. And so I could say, yeah, I've been working with so-and-so, and he or she seems like a very bright young person. So that became a recommendation. But I would never have known them if they hadn't made those kinds of connections on the professional turf. So I think that's very smart business to make those kinds of connections, as well as a learning opportunity that you have when you are with professional organizations. And finally, I will not resist, coming back to Bill again and saying, young people, keep reading. You are supposed to be a source of information to your client, to your boss, regardless. Your boss thinks that you should know something about what the issues are that are facing the community, what risks you think there are out there with protest groups. Do you know anybody in this organization that we can contact, and so forth. So you have to be a good student of society at large in order to increase your value to your employer. So the more information that you can gather through whatever means, I love books, but I know that, you know, there are all kinds of sources on the internet and all kinds of sources in the kinds of personal encounters that you have. Whatever you do, be on the qui-vive as far as what the latest intelligence is about the community, the state, the nation for that matter.